Well, let's begin with the reports that have been coming in of a air tragedy. This is another one that is being reported. And this is in South Korea, where a plane that skidded off the runway and crashed at the Muan International Airport in South Korea with 28 casualties, however, that have been confirmed. But it is also being reported that the numbers may go up. And according to reports, the Jeju airplane that was carrying 175 passengers and 6 flight attendants were flying back from Thailand, and the accident took place while it was attempting to land. Horrifying pictures that are emerging from the Jeju Air Boeing 737-800 with 175 passengers and 6 crew members on board that was said to be involved in a crash at the Muan International Airport in South Korea. As this video shows the aircraft attempting a belly landing without its landing gear extended before impacting the perimeter wall. And at the Muan International Airport in South Korea, plane that has now crashed with 175 passengers and 6 flight attendants as it veered off the runway and collided with the wall, as it is being reported according to the pictures that have also been coming in. Now, it remains to be seen as far as the death toll is concerned. However, it is being confirmed that 28 casualties that have been reported, but the tally could rise due to those who have been critically injured. And the video that has been showing of that very moment of the crash that happened when the twin-engine aircraft sliding down the runway without visible landing gear before crashing into a wall and causing a burst of flames and debris. And there have been several other foot pictures as well that have captured smoke and fire spreading across the parts of the plane as well. This crash, however, when it comes to the investigation that has still been taking place, the cause which has not been ascertained, but in the meantime, we get you Captain Augustine Vinod, who is the Indian Air Force Defense Analyst, joining us here on the broadcast. Sir, another plane crash that has been reported, unfortunate one. However, this one is South Korea. How do you believe, as far as looking at those pictures that have been coming in, as a plane attempts belly landing, what does it mean? And the crash that has now happened has, according to reports, claimed the lives of at least 28 people.
Yeah, I was just looking at the crash. No, it's too early to say a few things, but one thing is very, very clear, that the pilot had attempted a landing, at least on the video it looks like, attempted to land without the gear. And normally in such an aeroplane, landing without the gear is nearly impossible because there are a lot of warning that goes on. You know, too low gear and too low flaps and things like that. So since I fly big aeroplanes, I'm saying it with so much conviction and whatever. 28 people dying with a gear down, gear up landing is something unheard of in the recent times. And if at all such controlled landing with undercarriage up or the gear up is done, it is done with a lot of procedures in place, including fire services, medical services. The aeroplane burns its fuel down to the last drop so that when it touches the runway, there is not much of fire. So a lot of things goes on before you attempt to land an aeroplane with a low-slung engine. Mind you, low-slung engine is the engines are the first to make contact when the gears are not there. And that is where the fuel and the oil is. So chances of catching fire is very high, and direction control when you touch on the engine is, impossible. Once you touch on the ground, it takes the swing depending on how much metal is eaten up on the other side and how much metal is not eaten up on the other side. Very unfortunate that the 28 people perished, and it is back-to-back we have had now, in a week, 2 crashes, which doesn't talk good about, the air travel as such. I don't know how many people, people may get wary looking at such air crashes back-to-back happening in the world. Over to you.
Would it be a landing gear problem as far as what is being said that you could make out from the videos that have been coming in, sir?
It's possible, but my take is there is something that is not somehow fitting the bill in this. Because if it is going to be a landing without landing gear, there are a lot of fire services and medical services are on the standby. I don't see that on the video. That is point number one. Point number two is, could it be an emergency in which the pilot didn't have time to troubleshoot That also could be another issue. So I don't know. It's too early to say because these are just initial images that is coming in. I'm sure we are going to track the story as the day progresses, and we'll get to know much more information.
Yes, we are waiting for that as far as the details are concerned, because it is still very early as far as the rescue operations that have been taking place. Thank you very much, Captain Augustine Vinod, for joining us here with your expert point of view of what exactly may have happened as far as this plane crash that has been reported. Belly landing, as Captain Vinod was also talking about, it is still too early to say what may have caused an issue or was it any malfunction of any kind. But looking at those pictures that have been coming in as far as the very moment that the aircraft touches the ground, the runway, it bursts into flames as it crashes into the perimeter wall as well. The video that's showing the aircraft attempting belly landing without its landing gear that had been extended before impacting the perimeter wall. However, with 181 people on board, including 175 passengers and 6 flight attendants, 28 people are reportedly dead. However, the figure is expected to rise, with many of them still being critically injured, as we are awaiting as far as official confirmation is concerned. But this is a commercial aircraft with 181 people that crashed at the Muan airport, the international airport in South Korea. And the accident happened during the landing when the aircraft apparently developed some problems. And let's get in a word from Wing Commander Praful Bakshi sir, also joining us here on the broadcast. Unfortunate as back-to-back plane crashes that have been reported in different parts of the world. This time we want to talk about what happened in South Korea. What exactly happened, sir, in your understanding, if you can tell us, with those pictures coming in when a plane attempts landing without the, the landing gear extended? The impact is such that it immediately bursts into flames.
That's right. Absolutely right, madam. You can see the aircraft is coming in, and if you can show the visual, you will see that the aircraft is landing with its main wheel folded. Now that means the hydraulic failure did not allow the wheels to come down, and when the wheels are not available, the brakes are not available. Now the poor pilot, he's coming into land, he's made a very good job of the landing, all right, but he's straight, but then he can't stop the aircraft. The wheels are folded, and the belly is touching the ground. It's creating friction, and there's no brakes, so probably he's veered off the runway, hit the wall, and caught fire. Now, madam, previously, the airliners used to have a thing called tail chute, parachute, which is like Caravella, which I have seen it myself. And in 70s until 80s, they were having these parachutes, so they could stop without the brake. I mean, things could have been saved, but unfortunately that is not there. Then a lot of countries have been practicing, trying to introduce the barriers, like they have in Air Force aircrafts, on the Air Force runways. They have the crash barriers where the aircraft which has failed to take off or failed to stop on the runway on landing hits the barrier and stops. That creates minimum damage. But the airliners, the barriers have to be big and strong. Perhaps that is the reason, is economic constraints, that they're not used. They have taken away the tail chute. They don't have no barriers, and that is why you see a scene like this. Now here the pilot has no brakes. He has no wheels. He is on the belly. Yes, when the runway is not available, the pilots have done belly landing on various fields and etc. and especially rivers. The Potomac River, the incident, you know very well how the pilot brought in to land the aircraft. That also is a method which has been adopted a number of times onto the sea beaches.
Well, all of the possible reasonings that you're giving, sir, would be a part as far as the final investigation and the cause that may come out. It is still too early to say what may have led to this crash that has been reported in South Korea. But it is unfortunate as back-to-back air tragedies that have been reported in the last 1 week across the globe. Thank you very much, Bakshi, sir, for your point of view.